Marriott Bonvoy is the official hotel partner of US Soccer. Join Marriott Bonvoy today to get closer to the game with exclusive perks, unforgettable experiences, and benefits that go beyond the pitch. Spring Hill Suites, part of Marriott Bonvoy, offers complimentary hot breakfast and spacious all-suite accommodations, perfect for the whole team, with room for up to 6 guests. Make your next getaway a win. Learn more at springhillsuites.marriott.com.
Welcome to the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
What's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Josh All, your host, as usual, here on a Tuesday, another very cold Tuesday in Ohio. Coming off just a whirlwind couple days here following that Browns loss at home on Sunday to the Tennessee Titans. The one win, 1-11. Tennessee Titans came into Cleveland and they pretty much just beat our ass the whole time. I know the score ended up being a 2-point game in the end, but for the vast majority of that game, they definitely had the upper hand and the control. So we'll talk about some stuff coming out of that game. Got some injury things I want to dive into, and of course, we will be talking Shedeur Sanders and all of the news and stats and updates and everything that has come out since the game, and what, in my opinion, was a very impressive performance for a rookie in his third ever start in the NFL. And there are stats to verify that it was indeed impressive. But before I dive into everything, real quick, I did want to mention voicemails. You guys, thank you, first of all, if you tuned into our live stream when we did the watch party on Sunday. It was a ton of fun. We live streamed for like 5 hours on Sunday, and you guys were there with us for the whole thing. It was so much fun. For a while, it was very, I don't even know the right word. Like, we were kind of bummed that our feed, that our YouTube TV broadcast, because it was a local broadcast, was behind everybody else out there watching on NFL Sunday Ticket. Your feeds, your broadcasts were all ahead of ours, so the chat knew what was happening in the game before we knew. But now talking to people after the fact and kind of thinking back on it, it was probably more entertaining for you guys because you already knew what happened on a place, and then you got to sit there and watch our reaction. You already knew what happened, and then you get to see how we reacted to it. So it was probably pretty fun that way, and it was just a good time. But we also did a live reaction show immediately following the game and did not have time to do any of the voicemails. You guys sent in a ton of voicemails after that game, so that's what we're doing today. So I'm going to talk about everything from the game, all this midweek stuff, and then the second part of the show, it's all you guys. It's all your voicemails. So thank you for sending those in. If you want to get your voicemails on the show, thoughts, opinions, questions, whatever, go to thedogspodcast.com, tap leave voicemail in the drop-down menu. You can record a message, and you get to listen to it back before you send it. So if you don't like how it turns out or you want to re-record it, you can just re-record it. Send it in. Send us in your final product, and we'll do it here on the show for you. And if you don't want your voice on the show, that's not everybody's cup of tea. I totally get it. You can just type a message, send it to us, and we'll read it on the show just like we've done in the past. And if you want to be part of the Dog Pack community, head to jointhedogs.com. Join our Patreon page. Support the show. We really appreciate it. It's just $5 a month. It's like you donate 1 cup of coffee each month to our show. You don't even know it's gone, but trust me, it helps out the show a ton. We are an independent podcast. We do everything ourselves, and your support is what keeps us going and helps us continue to grow the platform. We have grown so much over the last 5.5, almost 6 years now, and it's all because of your support. So jointhedogs.com, sync the Patreon with the private Discord, hang out with everybody in there 24/7, and you get to be part of the Dog Pack Discord live episodes that we do in there every Thursday to preview the upcoming game. And moving into the off season, we will still be doing Dog Pack Discord live episodes every week to talk about the draft, who we should take, prospects, free agency, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a ton of fun. Make sure you guys are in there, jointhedogs.com. All right. So let's kick things off just going over some injury notes and news from the game on Sunday. So first of all, we've got Ethan Posick. Unfortunately, tore his Achilles in that game against the Titans. He is having surgery, and he is obviously out for the rest of the season. There's only 4 games left. He's done. Probably the last time we see Ethan Posick play for the Browns. We're going to have a whole new offensive line for the most part probably next year, and I doubt Posick will be part of that because we now have Luke Whippler, third-year man out of Ohio State, gets a 4-game audition for the center job in 2026. Can he take over and become that starting center, or is he just going to continue in his backup role? Now, next year will be the final year in his rookie deal, so it could be an interesting situation where he could play himself into a second contract extension with the Browns. We'll see how things play out, but encouragingly, Luke Whippler played 24 snaps in relief for Ethan Posick on Sunday, and mind you, this was late in the game. This was that fourth quarter when the Browns were down by 14 and they had to throw. They had to pass. There was really no option to run the ball. There was no time to run the ball, and even if we did have time, we couldn't run the frickin' ball anyway against the Titans. So the defense wasn't really playing the run. Luke Whippler, 24 snaps, 23 of them, like I just said, were pass blocking snaps, and he allowed 0 pressures. That's for a backup center coming in a situation where the defense knows you're throwing the ball. 0 pressures on 23 snaps in that situation. That's impressive. He had a 74.4 run or pass block grade in those 24 snaps. So encouraging to see Luke Whippler in relief. Now we'll get to see him next week as the starter and moving forward as the starter. Remember, Luke Whippler was slated to be the backup, what was it, last year? And then he broke his ankle, I think it was, in the first game of the preseason. Missed the whole season and all that. So it's good to have him back and playing well. Wyatt Teller, same as last week. Calf injury already ruled out for Sunday against the Bears. And again, I highly doubt that Wyatt Teller ever plays another snap for the Browns at this point. They have already, they already made the move to bench him to get a look at Tevin Jenkins, who I'm about to talk about, because Tevin Jenkins led the entire team on Sunday with a 79.2 pass block grade. He played all 69 snaps, and he allowed just 3 pressures with 0 sacks. So if Tevin Jenkins continues to play well, I'd be looking for the Browns possibly to get an extension done with him, maybe even before the season is over. That way they're not screwing around when free agency rolls around. They give him these last, I guess it'd be 5 games to start, show what he can do for the team, and then give him. Andrew Berry always does very good deals with these guys, seems to have a knack for getting them under contract to keep them in-house. So I would not be surprised personally to see, and I've honestly been talking about this since they signed him in free agency last year, or this, back in the spring, to see them get an extension done to get Tevin Jenkins in here to be the starting right guard for the Browns next year. Another guy to consider, and I know you guys will, I can hear it now. Jaws are going to hit the floor when I mention this, but it's KT Leviston. And I know, I do it. We dog KT Leviston relentlessly, deservedly so. He sucks in the pass block game. I'm not going to lie. But I've also been seeing this now pointed out over and over on social media by some of these film junkies that I follow and do a really good job breaking down the tape. While Leviston does struggle in the pass game, he's actually pretty good in the run blocking game. He was the highest graded lineman with a 64.4 run block grade on Sunday, and he actually has a 69.7 run block grade for the entire season. One of the highest on the team. Now, he has a 32.3 pass block grade for the season, and that's what kills, in my opinion, his potential. Like, you got to at least be somewhat decent. I mean, you don't have to be the best graded at everything to be on the field, but you can't have this situation where you're a 69.7 run block grade, but then you're a 32.3 freaking pass block grade. That's not even playable. So I would love to see somehow that's got to come up for him to even be in consideration to be the swing tackle next year. But it is encouraging, at least, and I wanted to point it out, that in the run blocking game, Leviston is actually pretty good. I want to give credit where credit is due, because I have torn this guy down relentlessly this entire season. Because, like I said, deservedly so. He sucks in the pass block game. Okay, Last couple injury notes here. Denzel Ward, David Njoku, both got injured during the game on Sunday. Both came out, but still at this point, no updates yet on those injuries. The first reports, practice reports, injury reports, all that stuff will come out tomorrow on Wednesday. So I think that pretty much does it for injuries. A couple stat things I wanted to point out real quick that have come out in the last couple of days and that I've looked up. The Browns, for being a 3-win team, and make no mistake, I fully expect them to be this is going to be second year with 3 wins. I don't see a game on the schedule that they can win, except for maybe the Bengals game week 18. That's in Cincinnati. Their defense is terrible. We seem to always play Joe Burrow well. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I wouldn't bet on it. Anyway, so for a 3-win football team, there are some players on this team doing some incredible, and I mean historical things, at the very least in Browns franchise history. And if you're new to the show, if you're new to the fan base, you're new to the Browns, it's a very storied history. The Browns go back to 1946. They were one of the best teams in football for long stretches of time. And, it's just since they moved to Baltimore and then came back as an expansion team in 99 that they've been this sucktastic, pathetic, abysmal, joke of an organization. Before that, they were really good. So what we have players doing things right now that is impressive in the scope of the entire history of the organization. Carson Schlesinger, easily Defensive Rookie of the Year. This was a steal for the Browns. I know they had to use the first pick in the second round. It was basically, you could look at it like a late first round pick, whatever. You got the best defensive player in the draft, in my opinion, at 33. Carson Schlesinger now on the season has 111 tackles. That is the most by a Browns rookie in franchise history. No rookie defender has had more tackles ever than Carson Schlesinger. And he is also just 7 tackles away from becoming the Browns' all-time single-season tackles leader as a rookie. All-time. Right now, that spot is currently held by DeQuell Jackson. Back in 2011, had 116 tackles in that season. So 7 tackles in the last 4 games here, and Carson Schlesinger will be the new franchise leader all time. Most tackles in a season. I imagine that he gets that top spot on Sunday, given he's only 7 tackles away from it, and he has had 10-plus tackles in each of the last 5 games. And he has 10 or more tackles in 7 out of the 13 games for the Browns this season. And I think the fewest tackles he's had in a game might have been like 7. He's had games of 8, 9. So he's been close to 10 or over 10 tackles a game. Every game as a rookie. And this is a guy that suffered a high ankle sprain a few weeks back, or back, whenever that was, Patriots game, whenever, before the bye. Never missed a snap, never missed a game. He's unreal. Carson Schlesinger is a different type of football specimen. He is unique, and we are freaking lucky to be able to watch him in a Browns uniform. So enjoy it. Like I say these things about Myles Garrett, who I'm going to talk about next. The team sucks. I get that. The record blows. We do stupid crap like we did on Sunday. I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. But at the same time, there's still things to watch with this team that are exciting and that are going to be memorable and historic, and you don't want to miss it. Carson Schlesinger is one of those things. One of those other things is Myles Garrett. Now, he only had 1 sack against Cam Moore, the most sacked quarterback, the offensive line that allows the most sacks in the NFL this year. Just 1 sack in the game. I know, it sucked, but at the same time, the Titans in my opinion, they did a very good job game planning against Myles Garrett. They said, we're not letting him wreck this game for us. We'll let somebody else do it, but it's not going to be Myles. I appreciated their game plan. Got to respect it. They did a great job there. Still had 1 sack on the day, put him at 20. So 20 sacks for the season. That's now the most in Browns history for a single season. Of course, he's passing his own previous records of 16. I think he had 2 seasons of 16 and 1 of 15. Those were already the most in Browns franchise history for a single season, but now he's at 20. The big thing about hitting 20 is it makes him just the 13th player in NFL history to reach the 20 sack mark since sacks became an official stat. And I believe that was in 1982. So that's very impressive. All the great defenders and edge rushers and pass rush, all these guys that have played in the NFL, only 13 of them have ever reached 20 sacks in a season. Some of them have done it a couple times, but only 13 guys have ever done it. I should say only 12 guys have ever done it before now, and he is now the 13th. So hats off to Miles, hats off to Carson. The Browns easily have D-Roy and Depoy this year. Just goes to show you the old trope, defense wins championships. Not necessarily true. There is a caveat. You got to be able to score because, again, defensive player of the year, defensive rookie of the year, and we got 3 wins. So got to be able to score, which takes me to the next guy we need to talk about here, and this is what you guys have been wanting to hear about, I'm sure. Speaks a lot to being able to score points on offense, even with the worst talent in the league, the worst offensive line in the league. Shedeur Sanders.
This episode is sponsored by Bodden Sports. Browns fans, we have had Christmas decorated all over the place since November 1st. That's right. It is coming up very quickly, Christmas time. And the best thing you can do is get ahead of your gift giving list and go to boddensports.com/dogs, DAWGS, and check out everything they have to offer and use promo code DOGS to get 10% off your entire order. You could find some really nice Christmas gifts for the athletes in your life. Obviously, baseball season would be right around the corner in the spring. They've got training balls. They've got regular game baseballs, bats, baseball gloves, all sorts of basketballs and other gear, pumps, ball bags, gym bags, things like that for your basketball players. And then the gifts that I really like to give family members and people like that would be the backyard games. Get those for Christmas gifts because then they can hold on to those and break them out when the weather gets nice. And it's like that Christmas gift that didn't get used right away at Christmas, and they get to experience that joy again later in the year. Badminton, outdoor volleyball, bocce, horseshoes, kickball. They've got a knockout game set. And of course, pickleball, which I know I've been saying on here I need to learn how to play. I haven't yet, but I do plan to learn at some point, and I will be getting my first pickleball set from Bodden Sports. So head over to boddensports.com/dogs and get 10% off your entire order with promo code DOGS, DAWGS, when you check out. That's Bodden Sports, BADEN sports.com/dogs.
Marriott Bonvoy is the official hotel partner of US Soccer. Join Marriott Bonvoy today to get closer to the game with exclusive perks, unforgettable experiences, and benefits that go beyond the pitch. Spring Hill Suites, part of Marriott Bonvoy, offers complimentary hot breakfast and spacious all-suite accommodations, perfect for the whole team, with room for up to 6 guests. Make your next getaway a win. Learn more at springhillsuites.marriott.com.
If you're an HVAC technician and a call comes in, Grainger knows that you need a partner that helps you find the right product, fast and hassle-free. And you know that when the first problem of the day is a clanking blower motor, there's no need to break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product details, you're confident you'll soon have everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
So Kevin Stefanski, yesterday, press conference on Monday, said, or he confirmed, Shedeur Sanders will be the starting quarterback for the Browns for the remainder of the season. So we have 4 games left. Shedeur's already started 3. That means as long as he doesn't get hurt, God, please don't let him get hurt. We'll have a 7-game sample. A 7-game sample, not quite half a season, but a 7-game sample of what he can do, excuse me, heading into the offseason, heading into 2026. So Shedeur Sanders, just recap it real quick, on Sunday was 23 of 42. I believe that's 54.8% completion. So not the highest completion percentage, but Cam Ward, the number 1 pick on the other side of the ball, had a 50% completion rate. He only had 117 passing yards in the game. Shedeur Sanders had 364 passing yards in the game. Shedeur Sanders had 4 total touchdowns. He had 3 passing touchdowns and a rushing score. He did throw one interception. It was a bad pick, but again, it's his third start ever in the NFL. If you're not expecting rookie mistakes to happen from a rookie in his third start, then you're just being unrealistic and you're probably a hater, which I got to talk about haters here in a little bit. So you guys drive me nuts. Evaluate the guy for what he is, a rookie in his third start. We'll just leave it at that. I don't even want to talk about draft position, all that stuff. A rookie in his third start. Okay. He also led the team in rushing. Led the team in rushing with 29 yards. Now, 29 yards to lead the team in rushing is not impressive, but it's a testament to the fact we had no run game against the Titans. Nothing. Quinshon Judkins, what was he, what did Blake say, a 1.4 average? I forget what it was. Terrible. Terrible. He did a long of 14, and he only ended up with like 24 yards on the day. Oh, it was terrible. Browns could not run the ball. Titans knew that. And it was a situation, I think the Titans kind of approached it the way teams approach Dylan Gabriel games. Of, you beat us. You, rookie quarterback, beat us. We're not going to let Quinshon Judkins beat us. We're not going to let your run game beat us. You beat us. And damn it, Shedeur Sanders should have beat them. Should have beat them. If Kevin doesn't make some really questionable, stupid decisions, maybe he does. Maybe we win that game. I mean, obviously the defense shouldn't be giving up 160 yards to Tony Pollard, and the special teams should not be letting punts get blocked and letting guys return the ball to the 50. But hey, we got a whole team problem in Cleveland. But to get back to Shedeur Sanders here, in that game, what he did, so impressive. And here's some of the things that came out of that, right? He's now the first rookie quarterback in the NFL this season to throw for 300 or more yards in a game. Third start. Just his third start. How many games has Tyler Shuck started now for the Saints? He was a high second-round pick. Cam Ward, number one pick in the draft, still has not thrown for 300 yards in a game, and he has played, what are they now, 2-11? So he's played 13 games, started 13 games. Jackson Dart, the face of New York, the guy that we've talked a lot about on this show, is I can't believe the Browns took Dylan Gabriel and thought he was higher on their board than Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart has not thrown for 300 yards in a game. And he started, I don't even know how many games he started, 4 or 5 now, something like that, maybe 6. 3 starts for Shedeur. That's all it took. 364. Very impressive. He is the only player since the NFL merger to have 350 or more yards and 4 total touchdowns in a single game within their first 5 starts. Shedeur Sanders, only one. Only guy to do this. He is the first Browns quarterback to throw for more than 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and rush for a touchdown since 1950. It's been 75 years since a Browns quarterback has done what Shedeur Sanders just did on Sunday. 364 passing yards is the 3rd most passing yards by a Browns rookie quarterback ever. Baker Mayfield had games of 397 and 376 during his rookie season. But here, listen to this. So the most passing yards by a Browns rookie in a game. 397 yards by Baker Mayfield in his 9th start. And then 376 yards by Baker Mayfield in his 13th start. And then number 3 on the list all time, 364 yards by Shedeur Sanders in just his 3rd start. I know I've said third start a lot in this segment. I'm trying to pound this home for anybody out there that still doesn't get how special Sunday was, okay? And we said this in the reaction show. I've posted this online. Was it perfect? No, it wasn't perfect. Did he make some mistakes? Yes. 3rd start, guys. 3rd start. That's what I love, though. We have seen significant improvement. And I'm not just saying a little bit of significant improvement each time, each game he's played, including the Ravens game. So he had one half of football in relief, without any practice reps, without any preparation really as far as that game plan went against the Ravens, and looked terrible. I mean, let's just call it what it is. He had a couple big throws in that game that said, okay, I'm excited for next week. But those 2 quarters, they were not good. We saw a lot of bad things from Shedeur Sanders in those 2 quarters. And then the following week, first start, first week of prep, first week of first team reps, first experience even practicing with these guys that he's playing with. And what does he do? He becomes the first Browns quarterback since 1995 to win his first career start for Cleveland. Broke a 17-game losing streak by Browns quarterbacks in their first career start. 17 opportunities we have had since 1995 for a guy to get a win, and it hasn't happened until now. So the Raiders game was good. Obviously, there were a lot of things in that game. It's like, okay, we got things to work on. So then we move forward to the 49ers game. First home start for Shedeur Sanders, and not perfect. Has some nice plays, though. The throw, the deep throw to Harold Fannin for the touchdown, made some plays. Had it close. Game was 10-8 until, again, questionable coaching decisions just kind of started to give things away. You go forward on 4th and 1 from your own 33 in a 2-point game halfway through the third quarter. Wasn't really necessary. The play call was a QB sneak, motion in the rookie tight end to take his first ever career snap under center, and he fumbles it. Just the coaching decisions. I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. But it was stupid. Anyway, so obviously not a clean game for Shedeur. There were some nice plays against the 49ers, and then things that, he needs to work on that. Missed Jerry Jeudy on a deep route twice in that game. Flash forward now to the Titans game. Whew. There's some improvements. First of all, you didn't miss Jerry Jeudy on the deep one. Got it. 60-yard touchdown. Deep sideline pass to Harold Fannin. Some nice plays where he's navigating the pocket, waiting for guys to open up in the intermediate areas of the field. Boom, hit him. The touchdown pass on the goal line to David Njoku. What a freaking ball placement throw that was. And then throwing it up late in the game for Harold Fannin to come down with that touchdown to what should have been the tying score. But there's been significant improvement from one game to the next, and that's why I'm so excited for these Final Four to see how he continues to improve. So one thing I really need to address is where I was talking about the haters out there. You Shedeur haters. Let's talk about this. First of all, what's wrong with you guys? What is wrong with you if you hate Shedeur Sanders? Okay, I understand if you're skeptical or if you've been a longtime Browns fan, you're like, I need to see more. I get that. I totally get. I'm not all about crowning somebody just because he had a good game for the Browns at the quarterback position. And I admit that I'm guilty of this myself. Do I have probably a little bit more optimism and hope and hype for Shedeur Sanders just because I'm a longtime Browns fan that's never seen a franchise quarterback outside of Baker Mayfield for a few years? Yes, I admit that. I admit that I am desperate for a franchise quarterback. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to evaluate what I see on the field and be honest about it. So what is wrong with you haters? This guy, Shedeur Sanders, has been nothing but the definition of franchise guy since he got to Cleveland. We said this back in the summer. We said if Shedeur Sanders turns out to be the quarterback on the field that we've been looking for, then we have hit the jackpot because this guy is everything that you want the face of your franchise to be off the field and in the media. He's been perfect. He's been great. He's involved in the community. He's helping people out. He's working with high school kids. He's helping this. He's doing that charity. He's doing all this kind of stuff. And then when he talks to the media, it's never about him. Never about, and they try to bait him into all kinds of stuff about the coaching staff, Kevin Stefanski, this and that. Will not take the bait. Will not. He's been so good at it. I really like him. I really like him. And now what these haters are trying to do, if you're not online or if you are, and you've seen this, I'm sure, they're trying to tear down this performance on Sunday with this argument about yards after catch. Basically what they're saying, Shedeur Sanders, 364 passing yards are not impressive. or somehow they're not valid because 251 of those yards came after the catch. They're calling him a check down merchant, which is what everybody called Dylan Gabriel because he was. But now they're trying to do the same thing with Shedeur, and clearly these people, they did not watch the game, or again, they just hate him. They just hate him. Because on the reverse side of this, 156 of his yards were from beyond 10 yards down the field. Okay? That's significant, especially in this Browns offense. You guys got to remember, we don't have receivers. You want him to throw the ball down the field and get a lot of his yards downfield? Who the hell? To who? To who? Nobody. We don't have an alpha number one receiver. We don't have a go-to guy. We don't have hey, we're in a pinch, just throw to this guy. He'll be open. We don't have that. So again, just another testament to what he's doing is very impressive. Either way, whether it's down the field or it's short, right around the line of scrimmage, or it's behind the line of scrimmage, it doesn't matter. The quarterback still has to make the throw. You still have to get the ball to your guy to let him make a play and put him in position to do what he does. And I went back and I wanted to see, okay, who are some of these other 300 plus yard games from quarterbacks this season, and what total of their yardage came after the catch from guys after the catch. Week 12, I found this. Patrick Mahomes had 352 yards. 229 of those came after the catch. It's pretty much the same ratio as what Shedeur had. Jordan Love in week 8 had 360 yards. 246 of them were after the catch. Same as what Shedeur had. Week 5, Baker Mayfield threw for 379 yards, and 200 of them came after the catch. So it's not weird. It's not abnormal for this to be the case. If a quarterback's getting yardage, it doesn't matter if he has 100 yards in a game or 400 yards in a game. A good amount of those yards are going to come from a receiver catching the ball and the yards they pick up after they caught it. It's the way football works. I feel like sometimes I'm explaining football to people who don't watch it. And that a lot of times I think that's probably what these people are out there who just hate for no reason. Like they probably don't even watch football and realize that, yeah, you might throw a 15-yard pass to Justin Jefferson and it turns into a 34-yard play overall because you hit him in stride and he was able to take it and run it, or he broke a tackle or whatever. But that's what these guys do. So whatever. It's just, I think it's so weird that people are going to go this far to hate on him just for doing things that is normal in the NFL and doing things that NFL quarterbacks do. And speaking of what other NFL quarterbacks do, or at least what other NFL quarterbacks are supposed to do, I just real quick want to point out that I kind of gave that away. Shedeur Sanders is doing what the Browns thought and hoped Deshaun Watson would do when they traded 3 first-round picks to get him and paid him $230 million guaranteed. What Shedeur Sanders just did on Sunday in his third start is what they wanted and thought that Deshaun was going to provide for this team, for this offense. So between the two, Deshaun Watson has had 19 starts in Cleveland. He has 0 300-yard passing games. He has 0 games with 4 touchdowns. And his passer rating since he got to Cleveland in those 19 starts, 80.7. Shedeur Sanders, in just 3 starts, here we go again with the 3 starts, he now has 1 300-yard passing game and 1 game with 4 touchdowns. And his passer rating in the 3 starts and 2 quarters against the Ravens, 80.9. Deshaun Watson was an 80.7 over 19 starts. Shedeur Sanders in 3.5 games, 80.9. I think the Browns got their franchise quarterbacks. It's just my opinion. I know it's only been 3 starts. I'm not trying to jump the gun or put the cart before the horse, all that kind of stuff, whatever you want to call it. Man, I like what I see out there. I like what I see. And it changes the way I watch Browns games now for these Final 4. Because if you guys were with us during the live watch party on Sunday, when the Titans went up 31-17, I forget how much time was left in the game, but I said that's game. That's game. I called game when it was 21-17 because I said this offense is not capable of generating more than 17 points. We have already hit our limit. We've hit our cap. We don't generate more than 17, and we sure as hell are not going to generate enough to get back up to 31. I was predicating that on the offense before Shedeur, because with Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel, that was the truth. That was the reality. I have to watch these games a little more differently now because with Shedeur Sanders, the potential to score more than 17 points is very real. We saw what he was able to do, bring the Browns back at the end of that game in the fourth quarter, and in a game that should have been tied. Should have been tied and going to overtime. And I want to talk about that 2-point conversion. I want to talk about the 2-point decision making. Because I've seen a couple people. I don't think there's very many. I don't think there's a whole lot of Kevin supporters left out there. But there's a couple, and they're very loud on social media, and especially on X. And they are tripping all over themselves. Fumbling, just falling face first, trying desperately to defend the decision-making of going for 2 when you were only down by 14. And I'll just tell you what their defense argument is. The defense argument is along the lines of, okay, you're down by 14. You score a touchdown, you go for 2 because you're playing to win the game, not tie. First mistake right there. Playing to win and not tie. We'll talk about that. So you go for 2. And then if you get it, you know that on the next score, you can just kick the extra point and you win because that's 15. And then if you don't get it, then on the next touchdown, you know you have to go for 2 to get the tie. Super flawed. Like, that is in no way, in my opinion, is that a good defense argument for what happened on Sunday. Not at all. And here's why. The Browns do not have the offensive personnel to ever play for the win in that situation. Ever. You're down by 14. It's 31-17, and we already know you average 16.2 points per game on the season, and that is with defensive scores included. You do not play for the win with this offense. What are you playing with? Who are you playing for the win with? Gage Larvidan? I'm sorry, practice squad Gage Larvidan? Come on, guys. You kick the extra point. You give yourselves an opportunity if by some miracle you're able to score another touchdown, because before Shedeur Sanders, that was an impossibility. But if by some miracle you can score a touchdown, now you can kick the extra point to tie it up. And the other thing too, you know what? So you go out there on the first score and you opt to kick the PAT and you miss it. Say Andre Smith comes out and he misses the extra point. It's an 8-point game anyway. This is not a team that has the luxury of walking up to the 2-yard line and saying, we're going to run a 2-point conversion here because we got a pretty good chance of getting it. No, you don't. You suck. You suck. You don't have good players. Like, you're lucky that you're even in this game after what your defense has allowed them to do to you. You want to go for 2. Just idiotic. Absolutely idiotic. And then I want to go talk about that whole argument right there is just flawed to me. Like, don't tell me about trying to play for the win, or the one person that really defends Kevin and everything he does and every decision that he makes was like, well, every team in the NFL does this. If they're down by 14 in the second half, every NFL team does this. They go for 2. I would like to see some data on that, because I would put money on the other. I don't think every NFL team does that in every situation. I think if you got to be hyperbolic and exaggerate to try to make your defense argument, you've already lost. Like, it's just a bad argument to begin with. 2-point conversion, end of the game, play call. I saw like Emmanuel Acho's breakdown. I posted it on X. I've seen other people break it down. Okay. It was open. It was. The play design was open. The players in that play design should have never warranted that play call being made. Ever. listen, guys. And the all 22, the film review, the 2020 vision, looking back on the game, everything, like, I get it. And it was open. Okay. The play design worked. The running back sweeps it out to the right and flips it to the receiver coming back the other way. There was a crease. And like, I think it was Acha was saying, like, it looked like Larvidan was going to have the option to either run it in or throw it in. So you had a guy blocking, I forget who it was, and he could have either released and been open in the end zone, but there was also a lane where Larvidan could have just run it in. Okay. That is all fair. But for what it's worth, I don't care if it looked like the play was going to work. Bottom line is that you took your quarterback, your leader, and the guy who just scored 2 times in the last 3 minutes for you to get you in this position. You took that guy off the field to put the ball into the hands of your rookie running back. This is the most high-pressure situation this guy has ever been in. You're running a 2-point conversion, game on the line. Get this, you have a chance. Don't get this, it's over. You just lost to the worst team in football. You're putting the pressure on your rookie running back to execute a reverse sweep pitch that he's never run in a game before? You would rather do that than put the ball in the hands of your quarterback who's on fire? These are the decisions I'm talking about. Like, this is an analytical discussion as well we could have just for a quick sidebar. Analytics probably said this play should work. And if you go and you look at the replay and the design and everything, it should have worked. Yeah, okay, so the analytics were correct in that avenue. And I know there's a lot of people out there who will say the Browns need to get rid of analytics. Quit using analytics and just we need football people and all this football stuff. And I agree, and I know what you're saying. And there's people that will say you're stupid for saying that. I'm not one of those people. Like, I think what you mean when you say the Browns need to get rid of analytics, I think what you mean is the reality. They need to stop using analytics exclusively. Stop using analytics to make every decision. Blake said this on Sunday. Don't have a problem with analytics as a tool because every team uses analytics. Analytics is so important. You have to have them. They will help you make the right decision in a lot of situations, but they cannot be your crutch. You cannot lean on analytics to make the decision for you all the time. That's the problem with the way the Browns use analytics. Stop it. You have to have football-minded people in football situations to know, 1, we have the momentum right now. 2, Shedeur Sanders is on fire. He's playing out of his mind. Let's do this. He's going to put this ball in the end zone. We're getting this 2-point convert. Like, he's not going to walk out of here without doing it. That should trump your analytical argument of running that play. That's the situation they were in. It was the game on the line, and the analytics said, choose your wildcat fake reverse toss from your rookie running back to your practice squad wide receiver. Now, if this was a seasoned veteran running back or a running back that has done this type of play before and has practice in a game in a situation where you need 2 points or whatever to score, and he's done this and you've seen it happen and he's executed it before, or you got a wide receiver, who it's Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson or somebody they actually know what they're doing on the field. Like, maybe it's okay to run this type of play. But in this situation, under this pressure, you're going to put the ball in the hands of a rookie running back and a practice squad receiver? That's the issue. That's the problem with analytics. And it leads to this, just bad coaching. Just bad coaching decisions. So, all right, we're going to take a quick break, come back, hit your voicemails.
This episode is sponsored by Kalshi. Browns fans, are you ready to put your money where your predictions are? With Kalshi, America's #1 regulated prediction market, you can legally trade on events that actually matter to you. And the best part is you don't need to predict specific stat lines and compile a 7-leg parlay just to win big. With Kalshi, the objective is either yes or no. Will the Browns win their game this week? Will Quinshon Judkins score a touchdown? Will Carson Schlesinger win Defensive Rookie of the Year? You can put your money on these predictions and more with Kalshi. If you want to try it out, all you have to do is sign up at kalshi.com/dogs. That's KALSHI.com/dogs, DAWGS, and trade $100. Get away from disadvantageous sportsbooks and dive into real-world outcomes with real-time odds and real payouts. Head over to kalshi.com/dogs or click the link in the description to get $20 when you trade $100 with Kalshi. Because why shouldn't you get paid for being right? All right, we got 2 voicemails here from Kia from it's Bahamas, right? Kia, you're gonna have to correct me in your next voicemail. I'm pretty sure you said Bahamas in your original first voicemail, but we love hearing from you, Kia. Here's number 1.
Well, it's Kia. I'm recording this during halftime. Guys, Judy did the thing I wanted him to do after last week when I just, clowned on his name. He finally caught the ball and then fumbled, and he caught the 60-yard bomb into the end zone. Thank God. I waited for that. Now we just gotta see the second half of this game. Please, y'all, fingers crossed.
Yes, fingers crossed. I love it when people send in voicemails during the game because then she follows up with a voicemail from after the game, which, you know what, I'll just play that right now.
It's undeniable Kevin is sabotaging the game, y'all. It's undeniable. Shedeur had 3 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. Are we still lost? I'm shaking right now because we're supposed to win. This is a winnable game. God, Kevin, please. Jimmy, fire Kevin Bubba now, please.
All right, Kia, thank you for the voicemails. I don't think... I also don't blame anybody for thinking this or looking at things this way, but I don't think Kevin is purposely trying to, sabotage Shedeur. Let's put it this way. If you're here because you're just a Shedeur fan, which that's fine. We appreciate you guys. Welcome to the Browns fan base. Let me educate you guys just real quick on some history here. Kevin Stefanski is making he's made dumbass, boneheaded coaching decisions all 6 years he's been here. Whether it was Baker Mayfield, Jacoby Brissett, Deshaun, Jameis, DT, it didn't matter. Kevin has made some of the most moronic decisions, and we have also never been able to properly execute 4th down, 4th and short, 2-point conversion, goal to go kind of plays. They have been really bad. They have been poorly executed under Kevin Stefanski for 6 years now. Any Browns fan that's been around for a long time, and especially for these last 6 years of his tenure, will tell you the same. So I don't know if it's so much sabotaging Shedeur as this is just Kevin. This is just Kevin Stefanski. He does stupid things like this, and it goes back to what I just talked about a little bit ago about the analytics stuff. This is what analytics is telling him to do rather than just using football instinct in the moment of a game and saying, let me evaluate where we are in the moment. What's their players doing right now? What are our players doing? Who's hot? Who's cold? Who's this? Who's that? Because no sane person would take Shedeur Sanders out on the 2-point conversion, got to get this or the game is over play. No sane, rational, football-minded person would ever do that. But analytics would tell you, hey, this running back reverse sweep pitch to your practice squad receiver should work. I shouldn't even say practice. That's just who we have running the play. It was a bad decision all around. But Kia, thank you for the voicemails. And then real quick, I did want to mention it was great to see Jerry Jeudy, finally come through, catch a long touchdown, run it in, everything. I was talking to my dad after the game, and I said, I'm gonna sound like old man get off my lawn guy here, and maybe this is probably just stupid. I had a problem with the way he finished that play. He caught it and he broke away from the defender, and he's kind of looking back to see where he is, and so he starts slowing down, sort of jog walk into the end zone to get right in front of the goal line so he can do a front flip into the end zone. Is that necessary, Jerry? 2 weeks ago, you caught a wide open pass down the sideline and you did some dipshittery move where you got the ball punched out from behind you and you fumbled because you were trying to do something splashy or whatever. maybe just run it into the end zone. Maybe just make sure you get there before you celebrate. I don't care if you celebrate after you get into the end zone. But like we've seen how many players over the last several years have dropped the ball just short of the goal line, ends up being a fumble, and the other team gets the ball at the 20 and all this kind of stuff. Like Jerry Jeudy's the type of player to do something stupid like that. Like just score. Just score. I don't care what you do after you score. Go celebrate. Sure, that's great. You caught a nice touchdown pass. Do you have to front flip into the end zone? You lead the league in drops. This is your second touchdown the entire year. You're supposed to be our wide receiver 1, and you're getting outpaced significantly by a rookie tight end. Maybe don't front flip into the end zone. It's just my personal opinion. I'm sure a lot of people out there can be like, oh, yeah, you're being stupid. You're a hater, whatever. I'm just telling you guys, I didn't like it. I thought, hey, how about you just score and then celebrate instead of being a dumbass? But I'm just not a Jerry Jeudy guy. But whatever. All right, let's move on. This next one's from Mick.
Hey, y'all, it's Mick from San Diego. Kevin Stefanski needs to be fired immediately or needs to end of season, something. But he's the reason we lost today. Special teams continually being bad, head coach's fault. Our team can't tackle, 180 yards rushing, direct reflection of the coaching staff. Why are we going for 2 so early? We had 4 minutes left. We go for 2, miss it, and then our second 2-point conversion was bad. If you just kick the extra point, now we're tied and we go to overtime. Oh, and by the way, for the second 2-point conversion, we decide not to have Shedeur in there. Bad play. But yeah, Shedeur is the answer. I don't want any more who's the quarterback next week. It's pretty clear-cut who the quarterback is for the remainder of the season or the off-season. We need O-line, wide receivers, like I've been posting on X, Facebook, insert all the socials. Stop moving the goalpost for him. He's the quarterback, and now we need to start building around him. All of our draft picks have hit this year, so we just need to work on that or get stronger in their free agency. Go Browns. Ooh.
All right, Mick, appreciate the voicemail as always. Agree with you 100%. It's time to build around this kid. Like, I know it's only been 3 starts, like I said earlier, and he's got 4 games left to go this season. And it's going to be interesting because the 4 games remaining, 3 of them are against playoff-ish teams. So that we got the Bears and the Bills coming up. So there's 2 playoff teams right there. And then you've got the Steelers, who are currently leading the AFC North. So that's currently a playoff team right there. And then obviously we end with the Bengals. So these last 4 games, there's going to be good competition. I want to see what he can do, continue to develop and continue to show growth in each game and all that kind of stuff. Do I expect every game to be 364-4? Hell no, guys. We got to temper expectations. He's going to have a rough game down the stretch, I bet you. Every quarterback has rough games. It's about the next one. How do you respond? How do you bounce back? So let's just let him take his lumps. But I do agree, Mick, we got to start building around him because I just don't think I can stomach wasting another first-round pick on a quarterback when we've got a guy who's already shown that he's worth investing in for a 5th-round contract. Listen, the Browns don't get many opportunities like this. We don't get a whole lot of good breaks to go our way. This could be a huge one to help us get out from the disaster of Deshaun Watson. So let's take it when it's sitting here for us. Tony, next up.
Hey, y'all found y'all franchise quarterback. Y'all need to get online, get wide receivers, maybe grab a couple pieces on defense, but in free agency, maybe get a veteran wide receiver that could win. Maybe try to go get Tyreek or something because he's going to be done with Miami. And get some O-line. That's it. Y'all found your quarterback. He stands in the pocket, takes those hits. He did this in college. He's poised. The only thing I would think to do, I would keep Stefanski in them, and this is the reason, is because the worst thing you could do is change play callers. He has to learn a whole new language. I know you guys are tired of him, but if y'all get some better pieces, y'all might have just a better team. Only thing that is disheartening is they really tried to make us not believe our own eyes. Like we didn't watch Shedeur play every game in college because it was on TV and watch him ball. And this is what we get when Shedeur throws the ball over 20 times, 300 yards. I know it's the Titans, but he can do this against anybody, especially as he learns. You can see him improving every week. So y'all found your quarterback. I would keep the Stefanski in them. I think the play call for going for 2 was stupid in the first place. We should have just tried to go for the win. But yeah, man, y'all found your quarterback, and y'all be a fool to pass up on him.
Thank you, Tony. I couldn't agree more. I've already said it a bunch on this show, but I do think we have found our quarterback, and I do think we would be very stupid to not move forward with that in mind. And you might be the only person calling in here ever to say that we should keep Kevin Stefanski and this coaching staff, but I understand your reasoning behind it. I really do. I look at it, at least currently, that I think what's more crucial for Shedeur's future in Cleveland is the front office and having Andrew Berry and his people stay, not so much the coaching staff, because from all accounts and reports and just the way things have played out since the draft, Shedeur Sanders was definitely an Andrew Berry decision. And if that really is truly the case, then I'm okay with keeping Andrew Berry and letting him have another offseason because of how we've said this before, like this draft class has looked good. I'm not willing to just say, okay, I forgive Andrew Berry for the last 5 drafts just because he had one good one. But if you also found your franchise quarterback in the 5th round of this draft, along with Carson Schlesinger and Mason Graham and Quinshon Judkins and Harold Fannin and Dylan Sampson, okay, I'm back. I'm on board. Let's see what you can do next year. So I think Andrew Berry is more pertinent to Shedeur's future as the starting quarterback than Kevin, but I take your point. All right, now we go to our cheerful buddy, Brad Moneymaker.
Why do I root for a team that constantly puts me in this misery of suffering? I hate this team so much, but I love it at the same time. Shedeur looked good, but like the rest of the team, complete ass. Kevin, pack your bags now and get the fuck off my team. That was terrible. What was that? It's ass play calling half the time. And I know Tyrese probably, but I guarantee you sometimes Kevin takes shit over, and that's where the overcomplicated bullshit comes in. Defense, where the hell were you all game? He's letting the Titans run all over you. A 1-win Titans team. Like, what the hell is that shit? Special teams, we already talked about this. Just deep fried ass. Man. So angry at the team, but I'll watch it again next week because I'm a masochist for the suffering. God. Hate this team. Let's go Browns. Ruff, ruff.
That is exactly how Browns fans are, man. Like yeah, we are gluttons for punishment. We hate this team. Damn it, I can't wait till next Sunday. You know, that's just the way it is, man. You're a Browns fan. You're a fanatic for this team, and it's a little bit insane, but that's just how it goes. I have seen the people say, well, Tommy Rees is the play caller, so Kevin didn't call that 2-point conversion. Guys, come on. This is the NFL. Do you really think that any offensive coordinator on any team in this league on a play that is for the game, 2-point conversion for the game, does not run the play that they're going, the call they're going to make? They run that by the head coach. Like they're all wearing the headsets. You're telling me Kevin didn't have any input or give the okay to run that play? Come on. He even said after the game that was his call. He makes all the calls. I know he's just trying to cover and not throw anybody under the bus, but at the same time, if he didn't want that play to be run, he would have called something different or told Tommy to pick something different. That's just how it works. And then to go back real quick to something Tony said that I just remembered. Anybody out there saying or trying to tell you like, oh, well, what Shedeur did wasn't that great. It was against the Titans. It's just the Titans. Who are we? We're the Cleveland Browns. That's right. We are the worst team in the league. We lost to the 1-11 Tennessee Titans. We only have 3 wins on the season. We have the worst offense in the league. No receivers, no line, nothing. Don't tell me it was just the Tennessee Titans, because we are just the Cleveland Browns. Let's move over here to Justin.
Woo! Yeah, let's go Browns. Just lost to the worst team in the NFL. Regardless of record, that officially makes us, the Cleveland Clowns, the worst team in the NFL. Your friendly neighborhood Browns fan here in Jersey. It's Justin again. It's just a brutal game to watch. Why was Shedeur Sanders not in on that 2-point conversion? Just ripped a fat pass to Fannin for a touchdown to get us possibly able to win it. And they do a wildcat with Tommy Rees play calling. Horrible. Unbelievable. And Stefanski needs fired. Absolutely needs fired, because you can't blame it on the offensive coordinator anymore, because why did we move it to him? Because Stefanski sucked. So Stefanski's no good. Offensive coordinator no good. Why were we not running the ball up 17-14 in a freezing cold, snowy game? We could have had that game mid in the fourth quarter with up at least 3 points and just wore them out on defense. Anyway, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Let's go Browns.
Thanks, Justin. Always appreciate your voicemails. I'd have to go back. I can't remember off the top of my head how the second half there, the back half of the third quarter into the fourth was going and everything as far as running the ball. But if I remember correctly, we came out of halftime and we had some success running the ball in that first drive, I think. Because I remember being happy with how we were running the ball, and then they took it away. From my memory, it just felt like the Titans were not going to let us run the ball. And it was, like I said earlier in the show, Shedeur, you're going to have to beat us. And damn it, he should have. He should have. Yes, the decision-making was terrible. I think the coaching staff all sealed their fate in this game. I mean, you can't come out against the Tennessee Titans and let them just spank your ass up and down the field on offense, meaning our defense getting absolutely humiliated out there. Jim Schwartz, sorry, that's not acceptable. That team averaged 14.2 points per game throughout the season. I don't know if you guys realize this. 31 points to the Tennessee Titans. That's the most they've scored in any game this season against your vaunted number one NFL elite defense, Cleveland Browns. Not anymore, guys. Not anymore. That's embarrassing. No pride. Just pathetic. So I think it sealed everybody's fate. We'll see how things go as the season wraps up. A couple more here. This one's from Devontae.
Hey guys, this is up here. Fire Kevin. Fire Kevin at this point, because there's no way that you could say this is going to be open competition. There's no way that you could then say Dylan Gabriel's ahead of Shedeur. No way you could then not be committal to him. But you see what he did against this team. You seen that even after the interception, he came back and led the team down. When's the last time you seen the Cleveland Browns quarterback do that? And actually gave hope when the score was two possession score game, and you pull that bull crap at the end. I play video games. You guys have seen it in the Discord. I put my Twitch stream in there. You simply go for the points. He had to watch Ohio State last night and said, let me one up you, my fellow Ohioan. Is this got to be the dumbest thing in the world? I feel bad for Shedeur. I feel bad for Miles. I feel bad for the team. Because if we're pissed, they're beyond pissed.
Yep, Devontae, I've said this multiple times now on the show. I don't want to keep repeating, but I totally agree. Anybody out there trying to defend that decision to go for two after the first score, why? What are you thinking? The thought process doesn't make sense. Even if it did, even if analytically speaking, the numbers, the data would say go for two after that first score because of whatever the argument might be, whatever stupid reasoning you can come up with. We don't have the players. We don't have the players to be in that position to say, well, we're just going to go for two because if we don't get it, we'll get it next time. No, you won't. You don't have the players. You don't have the luxury to do that. You take the points when they're there for you to take. Tired of talking about this because I feel like 98% of you guys out there agree that was the dumbest decision you could possibly make. But there are people out there that agreed with it, and I don't freaking get it. Devontae, always appreciate hearing from you, man. Last voicemail today is from Valentine.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Valentine calling in from Switzerland. Huge Browns fan for like 7 years. Been following the Browns for almost every day, so I'm really involved what the team is doing and love what you guys are doing with the podcast. So my question is, what do you think is going to happen in the upcoming draft if the Browns decide to draft a quarterback in the first round? So Mendoza, Moore, Simpson, take your pick. What will happen to the current rookie quarterbacks? So to Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel. will they keep both of them? Will they be involved in a trade? Can they even afford to keep all of them because they still have Deshaun Watson on the payroll? If I think next year he's still going to be on the roster. So what is your take on that? What is going to be the move that the Browns are doing? Have a great rest of the year and go Browns. Ruff, ruff.
Valentin, all the way from Switzerland, man. Thank you for the voicemail. We appreciate that. Love how global this podcast is. We got listeners everywhere, and that's just because Browns fans are everywhere. Browns fans, people outside the fan base just don't get how special this fan base is. You guys are worldwide. We are spread everywhere, and we root for this team every freaking Sunday, even when they do stupid crap like last week. And stupid crap that this team could do in the future, in my opinion, would be taking a quarterback in the first round. You don't need to do it. I'm telling you guys right now, I was talking to my dad after every game, and this is what I said. If the Browns decide they're going to take a first round quarterback, you would have to trade Shedeur, because you cannot let him start these 7 games and show what he has shown, show that he's an NFL caliber starter. At the minimum, he's an NFL caliber starter. Now, whether or not he's an actual franchise quarterback, he still has to continue to grow and develop and prove that, but he has at least shown that he can start in this league and play football games. You would have to trade him, most likely, because there would be people now, I would imagine, who would be interested, who would be coming to call and say, hey, you just took this quarterback in the first round. What are you doing with Shedeur? What are you doing with Shedeur? We'll give you this or that or the other. Let's get him on our squad. If they go down this route, I'm telling you right now, as a longtime Browns fan, exactly what would happen. Shedeur Sanders would go to another team and end up being one of the best quarterbacks in the league. No doubt in my mind. None. Tell me, guys, in the comments if you think I'm crazy or if you've been a longtime fan, if you think the same thing. If the Browns move on from Shedeur Sanders and he goes somewhere else, he will definitely 100% be one of the top quarterbacks in the league. That's just how it works for us. So as far as the first round quarterbacks are concerned, we kind of touched on this on Sunday during the lives. Fernando Mendoza is going to require a trade up to number 1. Whoever has number 1 is going to take Fernando Mendoza. So if the Titans end up with the number 1 pick, they're going to be trading that thing for a haul from the Jets or the Saints or the Raiders or somebody. There's going to be multiple teams. And if the Browns are in that category or they're in that group of teams fighting and vying for positioning to go get Mendoza, it's going to drive up the price. Because, like I said, there's going to be at least 3, maybe 4 teams. Maybe even, I saw a mock from PFF the other day. They had the Rams trading up from 10 to go get Fernando Mendoza as the heir apparent to Matthew Stafford. There are teams that are going to want him. So you're going to be in a bidding war. The cost to move up is going to be high. Because the Browns won't have the number 1 pick in the draft. I mean, not by our own doing, but by what other teams, like, who's ahead of us now? It's the Titans, the Saints, the Raiders, I think. Like, I don't have any confidence in them winning a lot of ball games to move us up. So you'd have to move up to get him. Outside of Mendoza, I'm good. I'm good on Simpson. I've seen the struggles here recently. I think Ty Simpson from Alabama could definitely use another year in college. I do. Dante Moore, I like what I've seen. There have been some things here and there. Overall, he looks like a really good quarterback prospect. He might go back. He's got eligibility. He might return. I know Oregon's trying to get him to come back for 2026, and he could also benefit from another year in college instead of just, being a projected first-round pick. He could come out next year in 2027 and be like the number 1 pick solidified, kind of the way Fernando Mendoza is looked at right now. I haven't seen anything from any of these quarterbacks outside of maybe Mendoza that looks like it could offer more on the field for the Browns than what Shedeur has already shown. So why not just roll with the 5th round pick and build around him? So that's what I would do in the draft. Get some receivers, get some offensive linemen. Don't you dare take a freaking defensive player in the top 100 picks, Andrew Berry. I'm telling you right now, that will piss me off immediately. We need offense in the worst way. So hopefully that's what we do in the draft. And again, we'll be talking draft. We'll be talking prospects and rankings and, trades and free agency, maybe a head coaching search, coordinator search, all that stuff. All that stuff, all offseason. We got 4 games left before we really dive into that sort of stuff. So if you guys want to hang out with us
in the Discord and be talking about these things 24/7 in the Dog Pack community. It's jointhedogs.com. Become an official Dog Pack member on the Patreon page. Sync up with the Discord. Join us for Dog Pack Discord live episodes every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern, where we preview the upcoming game. We've obviously got 4 of those remaining. And then moving into the offseason, we will do a Dog Pack Discord live once a week, or at least that's the plan, to do one once a week. Maybe we'll do more. I don't know. But for now, it's once a week, and we'll be talking all those things, draft prospects, all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that, you want to be part of the community, it's jointhedogs.com. Thank you guys for tuning in. Drop it in the comments. Anything I talked about today that you agree with, disagree with, you got your own thoughts, leave us a voicemail. We'll get to your voicemails and your messages and things on upcoming episodes. And of course, Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern, we got Dog Pack Discord live to preview the Bears-Browns game in Chicago. Yeah, the outcome for the team, I don't think is going to be very good, but very excited to see what Shedeur Sanders can do on the road against a good team in his 4th start. So join us then, Thursday at 5. We'll see you guys then. Let's go Browns.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dogs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedogspodcast.com.
This episode is sponsored by Kalshi. Browns fans, are you ready to put your money where your predictions are? With Kalshi, America's #1 regulated prediction market, you can legally trade on events that actually matter to you. And the best part is you don't need to predict specific stat lines and compile a 7-leg parlay just to win big. With Kalshi, the objective is either yes or no. Will the Browns win their game this week? Will Quinshon Judkins score a touchdown? Will Carson Schlesinger win Defensive Rookie of the Year? You can put your money on these predictions and more with Kalshi. If you want to try it out, all you have to do is sign up at kalshi.com/dogs. That's KALSHI.com/dogs, DAWGS, and trade $100. Get away from disadvantageous sportsbooks and dive into real-world outcomes with real-time odds and real payouts. Head over to kalshi.com/dogs or click the link in the description to get $20 when you trade $100 with Kalshi. Because why shouldn't you get paid for being right?
Marriott Bonvoy is the official hotel partner of US Soccer. Join Marriott Bonvoy today to get closer to the game with exclusive perks, unforgettable experiences, and benefits that go beyond the pitch. Spring Hill Suites, part of Marriott Bonvoy, offers complimentary hot breakfast and spacious all-suite accommodations, perfect for the whole team, with room for up to 6 guests. Make your next getaway a win. Learn more at springhillsuites.marriott.com.